Hello, everyone. This is Adam Sellers with CentralReach, one of the CSLs and SME for practice management and billing. Want to run through the two new screens we released this week so we can get you some information about how they're working and what you're seeing. So just like always, this is a demo account, dummy data. It's not the hugest sample of data. So my suggestion would be to watch the video, pause it if you want, and then go into your account, open up these similar screens, and then poke around with your data. When you have more robust data, as you do in your real accounts, it'll make a lot more sense, especially everything makes more sense because you see your rates, your dollar amounts, all that stuff. So the first thing is, don't forget that the different user interfaces for the new receivables report and the RCM report, which replace sales, are based upon the setting inside the system underneath $ miscellaneous down here. And that setting is whether or not you have your agreed rates turned on or off. You can only do this from the main organizational account, and so it should be set for you however your view typically is. This hasn't changed. This is the way it's always been. So if my agreed rates are on, what I'm going to see throughout these screens in the user interface is my agreed rates. So if I go to $receivables, click that, it's going to take me to this screen, and this screen is going to load, and it's going to show me my net receivables. That's what the receivables has always done. It's always been a net report, meaning positive and negative numbers can be mixed together, giving us an end result, our net result of $223,000 here down at the bottom right. So what have we done that's so cool on this screen? Well, number one, we kind of gave it a facelift. We gave it an overhaul. When you come in here, you see the buckets. We also increased the size of the buckets. So we gave you more buckets. So it's more important, once again, to see things more than 6 months, more than a year out, etc. So more buckets, still have totals down here at the bottom. Now, when we come in here, like I said, we see net. So over at the top right, what's really cool is we can see here is what we are expecting. This is our revenue. So this is my outstanding AR, not revenue, excuse me, our outstanding AR, what I'm expecting to get paid, minus my overpayments. So we're going to be able to separate those two things now so we can give you a clearer picture of what's going on, because this is going to represent potential liabilities or things I have to give back or stuff like that. And so 287 minus 64 is 223. So that's what's going on here. It's just showing me those net results. You'll also notice when you're looking at the net, we have a zero line in the middle, this purple line, and things below the line represent negative numbers. Things above the line represent positive numbers. Well, how can I hone in on these different things? So up here where it says sort by payer and I have net, I can look at outstanding, things above the purple line, or overpayments, things below the purple line. I can also see them, obviously, with all the different shapes and things floating around here, and we'll talk about those more in just a moment too. If I click on outstanding, once again, it's going to focus in on things above the purple line. So positive numbers, 287, showing me where all of those distribute throughout my system or throughout my company. I can also flip this over and say, just show me overpayments, so amounts that have been overpaid. Remember, on the billing screen, when you see net results, on the billing screen, far right column, owed is a net owed. It's not always showing me just overpaid amounts, because overpaid amounts could be respective of insurance or patient, but as a net result, they might still be a positive number. So that's what's so cool about this that we've done, is the ability now to tease out and see overpayments versus AR that we're expecting to get paid. I'm going to flip this back to net. So some more things I am seeing. I can click on the different circles. It'll focus in on that payer, clients, so on and so forth. So that's what I'm seeing, is the distribution of this throughout the system. What we're also going to be able to do is, if I toggle off of that, turns it back on, I can also now toggle on to just primary insurance. So these are my circles. When I do this, I see only my receivables based upon my primary. These are just toggles. If I click it again, it toggles off and I get them all back. If I click secondary, that will toggle that on. You'll notice the shapes are represented inside the graphic as well. They might get a little diffused because of all of the different overlaying shapes representing those different amounts. And as you can see, the different amounts will show based upon their size as a quantity relational to everything inside the system. Toggle this off. I can see that come back. So once again, my total. Different views, I'm sure you clicked on them. This is the default view with the two sections. This is just the graphic and then just the tabular. So however you want to see that data, Same thing here. You can look at these different numbers. If you want to download the data that we heard you, the report is significantly smaller. Lots of people complained about the size of it. We made it a lot smaller. That said, if you have feedback, give us feedback. Open a support ticket. Let us know. That's how you shape the software. So we can still see all that information here, still fully drillable, still fully clickable. You can alter the date range. Remember, this would be the receivable amount based upon those various dates of service coming through the system. So it is not a frozen snapshot, it's still live receivables. You're just isolating the dates of service we would look at. So that's what that would do. So that's why it's open so big, just to give us that whole screenshot, or excuse me, that whole snapshot of what's going on. So the receivables report is that. Last little footnote here, if you see missing payer, this has replaced none. So these are, once again, entries in the system that have no payer listed. So moving on to the RCM report, the new sales report, that looks like this. Similar things going on here. We've got some more information, and there's some better information that we're teasing out. The old sales report, you might remember, was just one column, those total charges, and then those total charges here. Let's open this up and let's make this this month, and then we'll back it up. By default, it should be pulling 6 months. It's because I didn't click on it fresh. I was playing around with some other stuff. So let's say I pull up 6 months worth of data or so, and then I get a representation of that data on the screen. Charges, remember, these are my charges based upon my agreed amounts because I have agreed turned on. So over this date range, that's what I'm seeing here are my total agreed charges. The things that we're doing differently are we're teasing out now those different amounts. Remember, on the old one, we just showed payments. Payments was lumped together, sales adjustments, payments, cash, check, credit card, electronic, plus those credit memos, and then bad debt. They were all lumped into one thing. And that is obviously not how most people want to see that. That is not a true representation of what's going on with your monies. And so charges, once again, total charges on the line items added all together. Sales adjustment. So a sales adjustment is a manual sales adjustment over and above the calculated adjustment. So please bear in mind that's what you're seeing here are manual sales adjustments in addition to the calculated adjustment that is lopping off, quote unquote, your contractual obligations typically. So adjusted charges, what are those? 2,800. Total charges minus those manual sales adjustments added to, so minus 300 equals 2,500. And that's what we're showing here. How much have you gotten paid by insurance? How much have you gotten paid by patients? So we're showing those amounts, and then we're showing you gross collection rates against those amounts as well. So we're showing you how all of your collections are going. If you have any bad debt, once again, that's that formal category, bad debt. And then you have a net collection rate. Receivables on these lines as of today, so minus all the payments, bad debt, etc. And then overpayments, once again, a separate column to represent where you have been overpaid and how. Fully drillable, just like it always has been. Open those up, take a peek. So once again, highly recommend go use this video, pull it up, listen to it, pause it alongside your data, poke around with your data in that similar manner. And I think you guys will really like these reports. Thanks so much for your time and have a good day.